Hello everyone, our today's topic is functions. This is a topic of computer science with Python of class 12 and we will today study it from scratch. So what are functions? Functions in Python. A function is a group of statements that exists within a program for the purpose of performing a specific task. Instead of writing a large program as one long sequence of instructions, it can be written as several small functions, each performing a specific part of the task. It is noteworthy that functions are the most important building blocks for any application in Python and work on the divide and conquer approach, which we will see in today's video. What are the advantages of functions? Program handling becomes easier. It reduces the lines of code which are to be repeated again and again. And it is very easy to make the updations in the functions. Functions can be categorized into the following three ways: built-in functions, modules, and user-defined functions. So in today's video, we will be studying in detail the user-defined functions. What is a user-defined function? A user-defined function is created or defined by the def statement followed by the function name, parenthesis, and colon. We will see the syntax in today's programs. A function definition consists of keyword def marks the start of the function header, a function name to uniquely identify it, a colon to mark the end of the function header, one or more valid Python statements that make up the function body. Statements must have the same indentation level, an optional return statement to return a value from the function. Function must be called or invoked to execute its code. Again, it is noteworthy that functions can alter only the mutable type values. So in today's video, we will see all these in detail, that how we will create a user-defined function, that is a function which we will define for our own convenience. So let us just move to the Python shell. Okay, so this is the Python shell. And as we have seen that the function will start with the keyword def. After that, we can give any name to our function followed by parenthesis and a colon. This is the first line of our function and is also called as the function header. I will press enter and you can see that already there is the indentation, and here I will write my statement to execute. I am learning functions in Python. All right. Now I want to run this function. For that, as we have seen in our slide, that a function must be called or invoked to execute its code. So how to invoke the function? It's very easy. Only write the function name followed by the parenthesis. That's it. And press enter. And the function will be executed. So it is very easy. You can see that you have already created your first function, that is func1 func1, and it has been executed. Now, in this example, as it has only displayed a message on screen and does not contain a return statement, we can see here, I have not used the return keyword over here. Such functions are called as the void functions. Now, as this is the shell, so let me move to the script mode. Here, I will again create a function followed by parenthesis and a colon. And here in the statements, this time I will write two statements. We are learning functions in Python. Print. It is easy and interesting to learn functions. So this is how I have again created a user-defined function. This time the name of the function I have created with the name func2, and let me run my code. This name already exists. Okay, so nothing has been executed over here. So again, we have to invoke the function to run it. So we will invoke our function followed by parenthesis. And you can see here that both lines of code have been executed over here. So this is how we can write the user-defined function. Now, I will show you here that how we can insert the comments also in the functions. So here, let me write a function, user-defined function named as triangle. And here, using the triple quotes, I will write my objective. This is just the comment, which will not be any logic to the code. To print a right-angled triangle using star. And here, let me conclude it with triple quotes. And now here I will start my code with the change in color. You can very well understand that the comment has been completed. I am only printing here, nothing else. And you can see that all the statements which we want to include within our user-defined functions must be indented properly and one after the other. That is it. And here I will save it. I will invoke the function by writing the name followed by parenthesis, and the function has been executed. And you must have noticed that the comment played no part in that. That is only for the user. Now, in all these functions, I have never used the return statement. Now we will see that how the function will return a value. So this is my new script. Here I will write this is the name of my user defined function, that is area rectangle. And inside this, I will take L comma B, which are also known as the parameters. And these are called as the formal parameters, which are used while defining the function. So inside this, area equals to L multiply B. And here I will use the keyword return area. So now what will happen, that area will be calculated by L multiplied by B, and that area will be returned as an answer to my function. Now how these type of functions are to be executed? Okay, so here we can see, now here if I will call my function area rectangle followed by the parenthesis, it will not give me my answer. Rather, it will return an error, because as you can see the type error, that area rectangle missing two required positional arguments L and B. When you have the parameters inside, then in that case, when you call your function, you have to pass the values for those two parameters. So you can see here that it is, the comment is also hovering there, L comma B. So I will give here two values, 20 comma 30. So here I must add one thing, that in the definition where we have used L comma B are called as the formal parameters. And while calling the function, when you are passing the value 20 comma 30, these are called as the actual parameters. So there is a difference between the formal parameters and the actual parameters. Now when I will press enter, you will see the answer, and 600 has been returned. So in this, since the value is returned, so it will automatically print your answer. You do not need to write the print statement in this. Now, let us see one more question of write a function to find the factorial of a number. So let us see. Okay. So first of all, we all know how to write the program of factorial of a number. So let us first of all write the program. Enter the number. Okay. So now what I will do is I will call my function within the program, and here let me take a variable a equals to, and I am making my user defined function. Let me name my function as factorial, and inside this I will pass a parameter n. So what will happen that when we will enter the number n, this n will be passed over here in factorial, and this is where you are calling the function. Now, let us start writing the function. Def, name of my user defined function is factorial, and here let me take one more variable. So here, let me show you. So whatever value you will pass here in n, that n will be passed to n1. So now whatever we will write over here, that we will write by using it as n1. And whatever answer you will get over here, that will be returned to a. When you will ask n from the user, that n will be passed as a parameter over here. This n you are calling it. This is the function call. This is where you are calling the function. And this is where you are defining the function. So let us see. Okay, so let us press enter. So as we know that in the definition, let me take f equals to 1, the normal function of the normal program of the factorial, how we do it. So this is how my factorial will be calculated in f, and I have to return my value. So here I will use return, and I have to return f as my factorial has been calculated in f. Now here, so now see that what will happen. Here this n will be passed over here in this n. Whatever value you will pass, that value will go to n1. Factorial will be calculated in this variable. When you are writing return f, since the call has been made from here, so this f will be returned to a. So now the factorial is in a. Now what we will write here, that we will print the value of a. So let us see. Print the factorial is a. So let me run. Okay, enter the number. So why we didn't have to call over here? Because we are already calling the function from here. We are already calling the function within the program. That is why there is no need to call it again on the shell. So here if I will give the number 5, the factorial is 3125. Okay, no, it doesn't have to come as 3125. There is something that we have done here. Okay, so here I have written f into n. Here it should be n1. Now let us see. Yes, now the answer is correct. So this is how we will return the value. Suppose you do not want to return the value and directly you want to run it. Then how you will do? You have called here your function, and this time this statement will not come here. This statement will come here, and in place of A, it will be F. So how it will run? Let us see the execution flow first of all. So first of all, the compiler will come to this statement. It will ask the user a number n. Then it will come here and it will call the function factorial with the value passed in n given by the user. As the function is called, it will go here and n will be copied to n1. Here the factorial will be calculated and the value of f is printed within the function definition. So no need to return the value. So let us run it. You can see that the answer remains the same. So in the previous one, we have used the return statement, and in this question, we have not used the return statement. Now, in the next question, we will see that how a function will return the multiple values. So let me tell you one more fact, that unlike other high-level languages like C, C++, Java, where the function can return at most only one value, a function in Python can return multiple values. So we will see through a very simple program. So here, let us use DEF and my function name is add_diff. And here I will pass two parameters. And here x plus y, x minus y. And here I will return the multiple values. I will return add also and return diff also. Now we are returning these values. Now here, when I will call the function, so I will call it with two values, add_diff. And here I will pass my actual parameters. And here we will print the sum of two numbers is A. The difference of two numbers is B. So first of all, let us see the flow of execution. Compiler will come here A comma B equals to, it will see that there is a user defined function and two values have been passed. So actually this is a function call. When the function will be called, compiler will go to the function definition. This 200 will be passed to X and 100 will be passed to Y. Add equals to 200 plus 100. In add, 300 value will come. DIFF equals to X minus Y. So here 100 value will come. This 300 will be passed here and this 100 will be passed here. And when this will be returned, this add will be returned to A and this DIF will be returned to B. And then in print statement, because of this A, 300 should be printed. And because DIF has returned its value to B, so because the value has been returned to B, so it should print 100. So let us execute. As you have seen the flow of execution, let us see if we execute, then how it will give us the answer. You can see here that the sum of two numbers is 300 and the difference of two numbers is 100. This is how the function can return the multiple values. There is one more practical implementation in which we will see that how the values can be return multiple values using the return statement, and they will be returned in the form of a tuple. Let us see the question. Okay, so here again, since it is a single line comment, I will use only hash. In a multi-line comment, we use triple quotes. Hash, this is a program for calculator. So DEF, let me name my user defined function as cal, and here I will pass two variables, and let us do A plus B, A minus B, A multiply B, A divided by B. And here I will return multiple values, add, DIFF, mul, and div. This is how I have returned. Now, here I have taken one variable and let me call my function cal. Since there are two parameters, so actual parameters also I have to give two values. Let us give two values. So this is how we are calling it. And first of all, let me only print R. So first of all, let us see the program execution. Compiler will come first of all over here. It will see a user-defined function, cal. It will see that the function has been called with two parameters. It will go to the function definition. 20 will be passed to A and 6 will be passed to B. Add equals to A plus B, it will be 26. Difference A minus B, 20 minus 6, that will be 14. Multiply, it will be 120, and division will give us 3 point something. And when we are returning, so here we are returning 4 values. The multiple values will be returned to only a single variable r. And then we are printing r. So let us see whether it will run or not. So you can see here that the answer has come and the answer has been executed in the form of a tuple. The value add 26, the value of difference 14, multiplication 120, and division, you can see here the floating number 3.33 and so on. So you can see that when the multiple values, they are returned to a single variable, then the result will come in the form of a tuple. If you want it to be displayed in the separate lines and not in the form of a tuple, in that case, you can run a for loop here for I in R, and it will print I. So now all the values, because R is a tuple now, and it will print all the values. Let us see. You can see now that because of this print statement, this has returned in the form of a tuple. And because of this print using for loop, this has given us the result in the 4 separate lines. So this is how the multiple values can be returned in a single variable also. I hope that it is clear to all of you. Thank you.